Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video I am going to show you how to install a CD drive into a computer that does not have the correct ports. So this is just something I wanted to do. So as you know, the current physical media for computers right now, drive-wise, is a Blu-ray DVD drive, Blu-ray burner. Now, before I install this, at one point the CD-ROMs were the biggest thing. Then came CD burners, which were really expensive at the time when they first came out. So, to give you a little bit on drives here, it goes DVD, CD-ROM, CD burner, DVD-ROM, DVD burner, Blu-ray ROM, Blu-ray burner. That's how they do that. So I'm going to install it on this computer right here. Yes, this computer does have an IDE port on the motherboard. Now, I am going to do this video as if it does not have the ports. So here's what you're going to need in that case. You're going to need a CD-ROM. You're going to need a PCI Express IDE controller card. Now, and you're asking yourself, why don't you just use a SATA CD-ROM? Unfortunately, CD-ROMs never came out in the SATA format. It was only DVD-ROMs, DVD burners, and now everything is SATA. Newer boards will not have an IDE controller, so you have to use one of these. Now, why would you use one of these? For example, let's say you paid a lot of money for a hard drive, DVD drive, or whatever. Let's say it's the best of the best, the highest speed you can get, and you paid a lot of money for it. Let's say you paid $700 for it. I know that's far-fetched, but let's say you did. You're going to be like, no, I want to use that drive because I paid a lot of money for it. So you get something like this, and you can use it. So this was, I had it in this box. This was from the SATA add-in cards that I used, but I just put it in the box so it wouldn't get damaged. Now, I did have this installed in here. You saw me install it. Now we're going to install it on this one, and I'm going to show you how Windows recognizes this. So, not only that, you're going to need one more thing. You're going to need let me find a smaller one here. Oh, that's floppy drive. You're going to need a 40-pin IDE line. This is used for CD-ROMs, DVD-ROMs, DVD burners. And here's what, this is how they used to hook stuff up. So basically this end will go into here like that. So to get started here, like normal, what you want to do, you want to pull the computer out. Now, before anybody says anything, I know this is not practical for today's standards, but I'm just doing it to show you that you could still use old stuff in a new computer if you had to. So you pull the computer out. Let me make sure I don't get my microphone line here. There we go. And I'm going to move back a little bit. Make sure everything's still hooked up, and we're going to turn it down just like this. I don't want to disconnect everything. Alright, so you probably see it on camera there. So here's what you want to do. You want to pull I forgot I had the toolless screw in there. You want to pull case off, and yes, this is just like any normal drive. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but right here there's these two little ports. Those are PCI Express ports. I know I've explained that, so I don't want to get too much into detail of what I've already explained. So we're going to move everything over here, and what you do is you take this, turn it. See, with PCI Express, you're going to have a big side and a little side. Obviously, the big side goes into the big side goes into a little side. And you can see it really, really closely on these particular ports. Now, the regular ports, you could always tell too, because the first part is going to be exactly the same. So, I take this, I put it in here just like that, and that's all you need to do. So, what you want to do now is you want to take a screw and you want to tighten it down. So, actually, that's the wrong one. You want to use coarse thread screw. I know I've explained that in another video, so I don't want to get into too much detail of that right at the moment. So we tighten it down. Just like that. So now this computer has an IDE controller. When I got this was only about $50 at the time, but I did buy it a few years ago. With the chip shortage, it's going to be a little more money, unfortunately. So what I do now is I take my IDE line. I know it's a big IDE line, but this is all that I had lying around. I'll have to find the other one. And what you do is just, and you, oh, that's too big of a line. Okay, that's too big of a line. So I did have the right line. Let me double check something here. Alright, so I did have, I forgot that was a line to a zip drive. So let me pull the other line out. And we should be okay, so let me double check that. We are not okay with that. So give me just 1 second. I thought I had a line around here somewhere. Give me just 1 second. Right, we are now back. Unfortunately, I had to take it out of my Apple computer, but I got the 40 pin IDE line that I need. So here's how this works. You take one end, goes into the controller like this. Oh, let me make sure I didn't bend any of the pins. I did not. Alright. Now what I do is I'm going to stand the computer up. I'm going to pull it back a little bit there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my CD drive and I'm going to install it into the case like so. I can fix that. There. Like so. So as you can see, it's installed. Turn it down. And the first thing you want to do is you want to tighten the screws on it. So that is what I'm doing right now. And I have a few connections here, so it'll be okay. Alright. So there we go. I'm going to close this up and we will be good. Alright. So I'm going to lay it down flat again. You take your this IDE line, and you install it just like this. Now, I do have a dilemma, but I figured it out. I'm going to take this end that's connected to the fan and plug it in. Alright, there we go. So I am all hooked up and ready to go. So all I have to do is turn this computer up, put the case back on, and it will power on no problem. So let me do that now. Once I put the case back on, alright, I'm going to turn the computer up. As you can see, the CD drive is installed. Let me make sure nothing came loose when I turned it up, because that does periodically happen to me. Actually, I'm going to use a connection straight from the power supply, if I can find one. Ah, here we go. There we go. That's easier on the... Then now I have that cable free to do what I need it with. There we go. Oh. Sometimes it likes to get held up on things, fortunately. There we go. All right, tighten it down. All right. All right. So now, oh. All right. So I turned the circuit on. I closed the circuit. So hold on a second. Sometimes when you have a KVM switch, it likes to act up on you when you try to put stuff back. There we go. Okay. So now the computer is back. So give me just 1 minute and I'm going to turn the computer on. Alright. So I have my monitor turned on. I am now going to power on the computer. Now this computer does take a little bit to boot, but it's going to boot. So let me grab a disk here. Yes, I know I explained this, but yes, I name my computer's test. Every single one of them, I name them that. Except for my daily use PC and my gaming machine. Okay, so everything's booted. I am going to go hold on a second. I'm going to search for the... Oh, here it is. I got a little impatient there. So once the folder opens, I am going to click this PC. Now, once I click this PC, you should see a CD drive. All right, so I'm going to click this PC. Look at that, it's a CDRW, which is what I have in there. So now I am going to, I have a disk here. I am going to show you that it works. It does work. I just have to use the emergency open. Alright, so I'm going to close the drive now. And it reads. So, to recap, I installed the IDE controller, I installed the drive, and it's reading a disk. So, just to prove that that is legit, the reason it's reading it as a music CD, I used something, an old game called Quake. This is not a, this, I'll get more into this on my other channel, but you can listen to the music from it. So anyway, so if I would right click and go open, these are all the files for the game to install. So it does work. Alright, so with that said, that is it for this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and click that bell for more notifications.